The soft blue glow of monitoring screens filled the quiet room at Earth's deep space listening post. Dr. Thomas Reed sat at his station, his eyes fixed on the data streaming across his display. For 10 years, he had worked here, watching for any signs of alien activity. Most days were quiet. Today was different. "Sir, you need to see this," said Mike, one of the younger technicians. His voice shook slightly as he spoke. Reed walked over to Mike's station, his coffee cup still in hand. The screen showed an unusual pattern of signals, unlike anything they had seen before. These weren't the random emissions they usually caught from distant stars. These were structured, organized, and most importantly, they were talking about Earth. "How long has this been coming in?" Reed asked, placing his cup down and leaning closer to the screen. "About 3 hours now. At first, I thought it was just background noise, but then the AI translation system started picking up patterns. It's not just one alien species, sir. It's several of them. And they're having a conversation." Reed's heart beat faster as he read the translated text. After years of silence, they were finally seeing proof of what many had suspected. Earth was being watched. "Get Director Williams on the line now." Reed's voice was calm, but his hands were shaking as he pulled up more data. Within 20 minutes, the observation room was filled with senior staff. The translation AI continued to decode the alien signals, revealing more with each passing minute. The aliens weren't just watching Earth, they were debating about it. "Look at this part," Reed pointed to a section of text. "They're discussing Earth's quarantine status. They've been avoiding us deliberately." Director Williams, a tall woman with gray hair and sharp eyes, read through the translations. "They're afraid of us," she said, a hint of pride in her voice. "These signals, they're arguing about whether Earth is too dangerous to approach." The room fell silent as more translations appeared. The aliens spoke of humanity's unexpected resistance capacity and concerning rate of technological advancement. Some argued for maintaining the quarantine, while others pushed for testing Earth's defenses. Reed downloaded all the data to his secure tablet and began analyzing the patterns. The alien signals were coming from at least 5 different sources, each using different encryption methods. Yet somehow, Earth's detection systems had caught them all. "They don't know we can hear them," Mike said, breaking the silence. "They have no idea their signals aren't as secure as they think." Director Williams nodded slowly. "And that's exactly how we're going to keep it. For now." She turned to face the room. "Ladies and gentlemen, what we've discovered here changes everything. Earth isn't just a target anymore. We're a threat. To them." Reed pulled up historical data, comparing it with the new signals. "These patterns, they've been watching us for decades, probably since the last attempt at invasion." He paused, looking at a particular section of data. "They're scared because they don't know what we've been doing all this time. And they shouldn't," Williams said firmly, "because what we've been doing is preparing." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Reports were sent to the Global Defense Initiative headquarters. Security protocols were heightened. Every deep space monitoring station on Earth was put on high alert, though only a select few knew why. As the sun rose over the listening post, Reed sat back in his chair, still processing everything they had learned. Earth wasn't alone in the universe. They had known that since the invasion attempt 50 years ago. But now they knew something even more important. The aliens were afraid of them. "Sir," Mike called out again, "the translations are showing something new. They're planning something. Some of them want to test us." Reed smiled slightly. "Let them come," he said, thinking of all the defenses humanity had built, all the preparations they had made. "We're ready." In orbit high above Earth, automated defense platforms silently track thousands of objects in space, their advanced sensors reaching far beyond what the aliens believed possible. Deep underground, in bunkers and secret facilities, humanity's greatest achievements stood ready. They had spent 50 years preparing for this moment. The aliens thought Earth was dangerous. They were right. 50 years earlier, June 15, 1975. The sky burned red over New York as the alien ships descended. Colonel Robert Barnes watched from the emergency command center beneath the city, his weathered face illuminated by the glow of tactical displays. The aliens had expected an easy victory. They were wrong. "Status report," he called out, his voice steady despite the rumbling of explosions above. "Their third wave is entering the atmosphere, sir," Lieutenant Mary Wilson reported. "But our trap is ready." Barnes allowed himself a small smile. The aliens had superior technology, yes, but they had badly underestimated human creativity. For 2 weeks, humanity had appeared to be losing, retreating from cities, showing confusion and fear. It was all part of the plan. "Send the signal," Barnes ordered. "Let's show them what humanity can do." Across the globe, the seemingly retreating human forces suddenly changed. Hidden weapons activated. Underground bunkers opened. The trap was sprung. In orbit, the alien fleet discovered that the primitive radio signals they had been jamming were a decoy. Earth's real communications ran through hardened underground cables. The humans had let them waste resources blocking the wrong thing. "Missile batteries are hot," Wilson announced. "They still think their jamming is working. They have no idea what's coming." The first wave of human counterattacks caught the aliens completely by surprise. Thousands of missiles launched simultaneously from hidden silos. The aliens' advanced shields could stop a few missiles, but they had never faced so many at once. Their defense systems overloaded. In New York, Barnes watched the tactical display as alien ships began falling from the sky. "Begin Phase 2, he ordered. Ground forces emerged from their hidden positions. The aliens had expected to face ordinary tanks and aircraft. Instead, they met an army that had spent 2 weeks studying their technology. Every crashed alien ship had been quickly stripped and analyzed. Human weapons had been modified to exploit weaknesses no one but humans would think to look for. "Sir, they're trying to retreat," Wilson reported, excitement in her voice. "The main fleet is pulling back." "Not yet," Barnes said firmly. "Execute Phase 3. This was the riskiest part of the plan, but the most important. As the alien fleet tried to withdraw, they found their own technology being used against them. Humans had captured and reprogrammed several of their smaller ships. These ships now flew among the alien fleet, broadcasting confusion signals. The battle lasted another 3 hours. When it was over, humanity had captured 7 intact alien ships and hundreds of pieces of advanced technology. More importantly, they had shown the galaxy something new. Humans were not easy prey. In the days that followed, Barnes led the initial study of the alien technology. The discoveries they'd made would change everything. "Look at this," Dr. Helen Ross, the lead scientist, told him one evening. She pointed to an alien computer core they had captured. "Their technology is advanced, but rigid. They don't adapt well to unexpected situations. That's why our strategies worked so well." Barnes nodded. "Can we use any of this?" "Better than that," Ross smiled. "We can improve it. They build everything to standard designs. We think differently. We can take their technology in directions they never imagined." That conversation led to the creation of the Global Defense Initiative. The world's governments, for the first time in history, united under a single purpose: preparing for the next invasion. The aliens had given humanity a gift without realizing it. Their attack had provided both technology and motivation. Instead of fighting each other, humans now worked together, combining their creativity and determination with advanced alien science. Over the next 50 years, Earth changed. Cities expanded underground, protected by shields reverse-engineered from alien technology, but improved by human innovation. Defense satellites carried weapons that no alien race would expect. Every piece of captured technology was studied, improved, and incorporated into Earth's defenses. The aliens thought their attack had failed. They didn't realize it had made humanity stronger than ever before. In the present day, as Dr. Reed studied the intercepted alien communications, he thought about Barnes and the others who had fought in that first war. They had turned defeat into victory, and then turned victory into preparation. Now, 50 years later, their legacy was about to be tested again. But this time, Earth was ready. Commander Anna Wells stood before the newest group of recruits in the underground training center of the Global Defense Initiative. The vast chamber, located 3 miles beneath the Rocky Mountains, hummed with power from generators that the aliens would never believe possible. "Welcome to humanity's real army," she said, her voice carrying across the room. "What you've seen on the surface is just for show. This is where we keep the real power." 20 young faces looked back at her with a mixture of awe and disbelief. They had all passed the strict security checks, but this was their first time seeing what humanity had really built over the past 50 years. "Follow me," Wells ordered, leading them to a massive elevator. "And remember, everything you see today is just a small part of our preparations." The elevator descended deeper into the earth. Through clear walls, the recruits could see dozens of levels passing by. Some held rows of vehicles that looked almost alien but had clear human modifications. Others contained weapon systems that combined alien technology with human innovation. Is that a captured alien ship?" one recruit asked, pointing to a massive hangar they were passing. Wells smiled. "Better. That's our improved version of their ship. 50 years ago, we captured their technology. But we didn't just copy it. We made it better." The tour continued through vast underground chambers. Wells showed them the Planetary Shield Control Center, where operators monitored a defense network that could protect the entire planet. The aliens thought Earth was defenseless against their energy weapons. They had no idea that humans had not only mastered their shield technology, but had found ways to make it 10 times stronger. "This is the heart of our defense system," Wells explained, entering a circular room filled with holographic displays. "We can track every object larger than a tennis ball within 2 light-years of Earth. And yes, that's far beyond what the aliens think we can detect." She pulled up a demonstration, showing how Earth's sensors worked. The recruits watched in amazement as the system displayed thousands of objects in space, each tagged and tracked with perfect precision. "But our real strength isn't just in our technology," Wells continued, leading them to another section. "It's in how we think differently than they do." The next room contained what looked like regular Earth weapons, tanks, planes, and ships. But these were just shells, hiding technology that would shock any alien race foolish enough to attack. "We learned from the first invasion that aliens think in straight lines. They expect defenses to work in certain ways, so we built everything to be unexpected." She pointed to what looked like a normal tank. "This vehicle can change its shape, become invisible, or split into 3 smaller units. The aliens would never think to design something so flexible." As the tour continued, alert sirens suddenly began to sound. Wells checked her communicator, her expression growing serious. "Well, recruits, it looks like you're going to see our systems in action sooner than expected. Multiple alien ships just entered the outer solar system." The recruits tensed, but Wells remained calm. She led them to a command center where dozens of operators worked at advanced stations. On the main screen, they could see the approaching alien vessels. "Watch and learn," Wells said confidently. "Those ships out there think they're completely hidden. They have no idea that we've been tracking them since they entered our space." She pulled up another display, showing Earth's defensive grid. Hundreds of satellites, ships, and defense platforms were already moving into position, all while remaining invisible to alien sensors. "This is what we've been preparing for," Wells told the recruits. 50 years of work, planning, and preparation. "We're not the same planet they tried to invade before. We're much, much more." As if to prove her point, one of the operators called out, "Commander, we're picking up communications between the alien ships. They still think they're undetected." Wells smiled. Earth's defenders had trained for this moment for decades. The aliens were about to learn just how ready humanity really was. "Send an alert to all defense stations," she ordered. "But don't reveal our capabilities yet. Let them come a little closer first. It's time to show them exactly what humanity can do." Admiral James Cooper stood in Earth's main broadcast center, his old battle scars visible in the bright lights. At 72, he was one of the few surviving veterans of the first alien invasion. Now, 50 years later, he would be humanity's voice to the stars. "Are all systems ready?" he asked, looking at the technical team. "Yes, sir," replied Jack, the lead communications officer. "We can broadcast on all frequencies they use, including the ones they think are secret. The translation systems are ready too." Cooper nodded. The alien ships were still approaching, thinking they were undetected. It was time to surprise them. "Begin recording," he said, standing straighter. His voice was calm and strong as he spoke. "To all approaching vessels, this is Admiral James Cooper of Earth's Global Defense Initiative. Yes, we can see you. Yes, we can hear your communications. And yes, we've been watching you for a very long time." In the control room, technicians monitored as the message was broadcast in both human and alien languages. The approaching ships suddenly stopped moving, clearly surprised at being detected. 50 years ago, some of you tried to invade Earth. You thought we were primitive and weak. That mistake cost you 7 ships and gave us the beginning of our new technology. We want to thank you for that gift." Cooper paused, allowing his words to sink in. On the monitors, they could see the alien ships beginning to spread out, falling into defensive positions. "Since then, we've been busy. Every piece of technology you left behind, we studied. Every weakness in your systems, we found. Every advantage you thought you had, we matched and then improved upon." The message was being broadcast on frequencies the aliens believed were impossible for humans to access. This alone proved his words were true. "You've been discussing whether Earth is too dangerous to approach. Let me answer that question for you. Yes, we are. Earth is not the same planet you tried to conquer before. We are stronger, more advanced, and most importantly, we are united." In orbit, Earth's hidden defense platforms remained cloaked, their weapons ready but not yet revealed. The aliens had no idea they were surrounded. "We know you've been debating whether to test our defenses. Before you make that decision, let me be clear. We've spent 50 years preparing for this moment. We've developed weapons you can't imagine, defenses you can't penetrate, and strategies you won't understand until it's too late." Dr. Reed, watching from the command center, saw the alien ship's energy readings fluctuate. They were nervous, unsure. The confidence in Cooper's voice was making them doubt their own superiority. "Humanity prefers peace. We're not conquerors or invaders. But make no mistake, if you choose to attack us, we will respond with force beyond anything you believe we possess. Earth is our home, and we will defend it." Cooper's voice grew even more serious. "For 50 years, you've watched us from a distance, thinking we didn't know you were there. Now it's time for you to understand what that time has cost you. While you watched, we prepared. While you waited, we grew stronger. While you debated, we surpassed you." The alien ships were now completely still, their communication frequencies buzzing with urgent messages between their commanders. "This is not a threat. This is a warning, spoken from one spacefaring civilization to others. Earth is ready. Earth is defended. And Earth is far more dangerous than you can imagine." Cooper allowed himself a small smile before delivering his final words. "The choice is yours. You can turn around now and leave in peace, or you can test our defenses and learn exactly how prepared we are. Either way, humanity will be here, ready and waiting." As the message ended, the control room erupted in quiet cheers. On the monitors, they could see the alien ships had stopped all forward movement. Cooper's words had hit their mark. "Message delivered," Jack announced. "They've received it on all frequencies." "Now," Cooper said, watching the alien ships closely, Let's see if they're wise enough to listen. The alien fleet hung motionless in space, still processing Admiral Cooper's message. In Earth's command center, Commander Wells and Dr. Reed watched the main display as one small ship separated from the alien fleet. "They're sending a scout," Reed observed, studying the data. "Looks like they want to test us." Wells smiled. "Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted." She turned to her communications officer. "Get me Admiral Cooper. It's time for Phase 2. The scout ship moved cautiously toward Earth, its sensors probing for defenses. The aliens still couldn't detect Earth's hidden platforms and ships, giving humanity the perfect opportunity to demonstrate their power. "Scout ship is entering range," reported Jack from his station. "All systems are ready." Cooper's voice came through the speakers. "Begin the demonstration. Remember, we want to impress them, not destroy them." Wells nodded to her team. "Activate Defense Platform 7. Use the gravity web." In space, an invisible net of gravitational forces suddenly appeared around the scout ship. The aliens had no defense against it because they had never imagined such technology was possible. Their ship froze in place, unable to move forward or back. "They're trying to break free," Reed reported, watching the ship's energy readings spike. "Their engines are at full power, but they can't move an inch." Inside the scout ship, the alien crew was discovering that none of their advanced technology could break them free. Their weapons wouldn't fire. Their engines couldn't move them. They were completely helpless. "Now for the second part," Wells ordered. "Show them why Earth is different." A small Earth ship decloaked near the trapped scout. It was a design the aliens had never seen before, a perfect blend of human creativity and advanced technology. The ship approached the scout vessel, broadcasting a simple message in the aliens' own language. "Watch carefully." The Earth ship fired a single beam of energy. Instead of destroying the scout ship, it simply shut down all its systems. The aliens watched in shock as their supposedly superior technology was turned off like a light switch. "Their main fleet is powering up weapons," Jack announced, monitoring the situation. "Let them," Cooper replied calmly. "They need to see this next part." Wells pressed a button on her console. The Earth ship extended what looked like a simple towing beam. But as it touched the scout ship, something impossible happened. All of the alien vessel's technology came back online, but now under Earth's control. Sending the second message, Reed said. The aliens received another broadcast. "Your technology is impressive, but we've moved beyond it." This demonstration used only one of our smallest ships and oldest defense platforms. Consider carefully what that means about our full capabilities. In the command center, they watched as the alien crew's life support and artificial gravity were maintained perfectly while their weapons and engines were controlled remotely. It was a show of both power and restraint. Earth could have destroyed them, but chose to simply demonstrate superiority. "Final phase," Cooper ordered. "Show them our mercy." The Earth ship released its control. All systems on the scout ship returned to normal. The gravity web disappeared. The aliens were free to leave, having learned a valuable lesson about Earth's true power. "They're retreating to their main fleet," Jack reported. "And, yes, we're picking up massive amounts of communication between their ships. They're scared." Wells looked at the data streaming across her screen. The aliens were sharing scans of what they'd just witnessed, trying to understand how Earth had developed such advanced technology. They couldn't understand how the primitive humans had surpassed them so completely. "Should we prepare for an attack?" one of the junior officers asked nervously. Reed shook his head, still watching the alien fleet. "No, that's the beauty of this demonstration. We showed them three things: that we can defeat their technology, that we're far more advanced than they thought, and most importantly, that we choose to be peaceful despite our power." "Look," Wells pointed to the main screen. The alien fleet was turning around. "They understand the message now. Earth isn't just dangerous. We're beyond their level of advancement. And we did it all without firing a single destructive shot. Cooper's voice carried a note of satisfaction. Send one final message. Safe travels. Remember what you learned today. The Grand Council of Allied Species met in an emergency session. The massive chamber, located on a neutral space station at the edge of known space, buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from 12 different species sat around the circular table, all focused on the recordings from Earth. "This is impossible," the first speaker declared, his crystalline form glowing with agitation. "Humans were primitives just 50 years ago. How could they advance so quickly?" Dr. Reed and Commander Wells watched the meeting through Earth's advanced monitoring systems. The aliens still hadn't figured out that their secure council chamber was as transparent to Earth's technology as glass. "They're scared," Wells observed, noting how the alien representatives shifted uncomfortably in their seats. "They should be," Reed replied. "We've just changed everything they thought they knew about the galaxy's power balance." On the screen, a tall, blue-skinned representative stood up. "The humans didn't just defeat our technology. They controlled it completely. None of us have ever managed that. Not in 10,000 years of trying." The debate grew heated. Some representatives demanded immediate action against Earth, while others argued for peaceful contact. The humans watched it all, carefully recording every word. "Look at this," Reed pointed to a data stream. "They're pulling up their old files about Earth. Everything they thought they knew about us is being questioned." In the council chamber, the military commander of the Allied fleet, a veteran of countless battles, spoke next. "You're all missing the most important point. The humans could have destroyed our scout ship. Instead, they chose to demonstrate their power and then show mercy. That speaks of confidence, not aggression." The chamber fell silent. This was something they understood. In their experience, younger species with advanced technology usually became aggressive, trying to prove their worth through conquest. Earth had done the opposite. Their message was clear, another representative added. "They don't want war. They want respect." Back on Earth, Admiral Cooper joined Reed and Wells in the monitoring room. "How are they taking it?" he asked. "Better than we expected," Wells replied. "Some of them actually understand what we did." On the screen, the council continued their debate. The first speaker called for a vote on how to proceed. The options were clear: maintain the quarantine and risk appearing weak, attempt diplomatic contact, or risk a military confrontation. "They're starting to realize something else," Reed said, pointing to new data appearing on his screen. "Look at their trade routes, their colonial expansion plans. They're all going to have to change now that Earth is a known power." In the council chamber, the vote tallies appeared. The majority had chosen diplomatic contact. Earth's demonstration had worked perfectly. They had shown enough power to earn respect, but enough restraint to avoid appearing as a threat. "Should we let them know we're watching?" Wells asked. Cooper smiled. "Send the message." In the alien council chamber, a new hologram appeared above their table. It showed Earth's solar system, then zoomed out to show all their secret observation posts, hidden fleets, and monitoring stations. Every single way they had been watching Earth was revealed. "Greetings, honored council," Cooper's voice filled the chamber. "We thought you might appreciate knowing that we've been listening to your debate. We accept your vote for diplomatic contact." The aliens froze, realizing that humans had been watching their most secret meeting. But before they could react with fear, Cooper continued. "We look forward to peaceful relations with all your species. Our diplomatic team is ready whenever you are. And yes, we already know where your official contact protocols suggest meeting. We'll be there." As the message ended, the alien council sat in stunned silence. Then, slowly, the first speaker began to laugh. "They've been 10 steps ahead of us this entire time," he said. "Perhaps that's exactly why they'll make good allies." Reed, Wells, and Cooper watched as the council began preparing for first official contact. Earth had changed the galaxy's balance of power without firing a shot. You know, Wells said thoughtfully, they still haven't seen even half of what we can really do. Cooper nodded. And as long as they choose peace, they never will have to. 1 month after Earth's demonstration of power, the new Interstellar Diplomatic Center stood ready in Geneva. Dr. Reed walked through its halls, noting how human and alien technology worked together seamlessly in its construction. The building itself was a statement. Earth wasn't just ready for diplomatic relations. They were already leading the way. Quite a change from monitoring alien signals in secret, Commander Wells said, joining him. She wore her formal uniform, ready for another meeting with alien representatives. Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come, Reed replied, watching as a group of alien diplomats passed by, nodding respectfully to the human officials. The main conference room ahead of them represented Earth's new reality. Representatives from 7 alien species sat around a circular table, discussing trade routes and technology exchanges. But the humans in the room knew something the aliens didn't. Earth was still holding back its most advanced developments. The Galactic Trade Council has approved all our proposed shipping lanes, one of the alien diplomats announced. They were surprisingly eager to work with Earth. Wells and Reed shared a knowing look. The aliens still didn't realize that Earth had already mapped every major trade route in the galaxy years ago. Humanity's ships could have used them at any time, but waiting for proper diplomatic channels sent a better message. There's something you should see, Wells said quietly to Reed, leading him to a secure room. Inside, Admiral Cooper waited with new holographic displays showing the galaxy. Our long-range sensors picked this up yesterday, Cooper said, highlighting a distant sector of space. 3 previously unknown species, all more advanced than our current diplomatic partners. They'd been watching the situation with Earth carefully. Reed studied the data. They're even more cautious than the others were. No direct approaches, no obvious scanning. Exactly, Cooper nodded. Which is why Project Guardian needs to move forward. Wells brought up another display, showing designs for Earth's next generation of defense systems. While the aliens thought they were seeing Earth's best technology, humanity's scientists and engineers were already working on things far beyond that. The diplomatic missions are going well, she said, but we're not going to stop preparing. Peace through strength isn't just a saying. It's how we'll survive in the galaxy. In another part of the building, Dr. Emma Porter, Earth's new head of interstellar research, was leading a team that combined human and alien scientists. They were officially working on improving space travel technology. Unofficially, the humans were gathering data on how different alien species approached problems. The key to our success, Porter explained to a new team member, isn't just having advanced technology. It's understanding how others think and staying 10 steps ahead. Reed and Wells joined her team's meeting, watching as humans and aliens worked together. On the surface, it looked like simple scientific cooperation. In reality, humanity was learning more about alien technology every day, while sharing only carefully selected parts of their own knowledge. We've received another trade proposal, an aide reported, bringing in new data. They want to exchange their latest shield technology for our atmospheric processors. Reed smiled. The aliens' latest shield technology was something Earth had surpassed years ago. But trading for it would help maintain the image of Earth as a strong but reasonable partner. The best defense, Cooper said, joining them, isn't just having the most advanced weapons or the strongest shields. It's making sure potential enemies choose to be friends instead. As the day ended, Reed stood at a window overlooking Geneva. The city glowed with a mixture of Earth and alien lights, a symbol of the new era. In orbit, ships from a dozen worlds moved peacefully through space, all under the watchful eye of Earth's hidden defenses. Do you think we'll ever show them everything we can really do? Wells asked, standing beside him. Reed shook his head. That's not how humanity survived and thrived. We'll keep advancing, keep preparing, keep improving. The galaxy knows we're strong enough to be respected. But they don't need to know we're strong enough to be feared. Below them, in deep underground facilities, Earth's scientists continued their work on technologies that would make even their current abilities look primitive. The aliens thought they were seeing Earth at its peak. They didn't realize this was just the beginning.